Great. Honey.
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So, you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Your Eminence, you're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing to me. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now. I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No. You are the first I've spoken to about it, Your Eminence.
Come now, Louis. Are you quite sure of that?
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons, that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Golden elixir. I'll keep it for later. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. Christ Crucified by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alcudia. The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his... Ah, François Ier, Receiving the Holy Family, a painting by Raphael. Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. Celia. That name means nothing to me. Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men. That's the least you could say. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical. The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The Gospel of St. John is the most detailed on the subject of the crucifixion.
When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe.
A shimmering lance? What is this telling me? Medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. The medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. The name of the Roman soldier who killed Christ never appears in the biblical canon. Yet, it is said that he was a centurion and was called Longinus. Flavius Aetius.
It was cut a long time ago. You could tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old. This lance has got a blade in the shape of a spear. Its blade is in iron or steel, I think. I can make out a rising sun engraved on the tip. We can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. I can see this lance has a spear shape. It is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. Ha! Great! Now let's see what's inside. I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. the Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The four Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance. Ah, there. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me? The name of the Roman soldier who killed Christ never appears in the biblical canon. Yet, it is said that he was a centurion and was called Longinus. Medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Fragment of amber. Great. Honey. Crucifixion of St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, out of humility. Surprising for an entrance hall. Fall of the Damned by Rubens. The man who cannot achieve the salvation of God the Father is offered to fall into the depths of the honey. Like blind Oedipus, blinded himself. What a tragic destiny. King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister.
It's Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed a letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen.
Great. Honey.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests. Dear Monsieur All right. I've retrieved everything.
Another painting on the Massacre of the Innocents? Nice decor for a revolutionary tribunal judge's room.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Dear friend,
Seems like he isn't here. The alchemist is a young man. The signs of obscurantism.
Look, a blotter. And apparently it's been used recently. I wonder what Volner was going to write. It's smudged. It's not all legible. I can make out the signature though and leave as if planned landing stage. So Volner is going to leave Al-Azif at the landing stage, isn't he? What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw. And he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. Yes, it's definitely a drawing of the lock of Al-Azif. Volner must have kept a copy. Straw on his desk, as if to protect something fragile. Yes, someone must have packed something away here. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. I've seen occult inscriptions like this before. They're not very common. As a matter of fact, I've only seen them once before, around the lock of Al-Azif. What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted.
A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. The signs of the zodiac.
A chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner. A chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner. So, let's see what Volner has in his bookcase. A few works on religions. 2 scientific essays about human thought. Most of these works are on alchemy. Longini Militis Fabulum. Ah, what have we here?
It looks like a kind of biography on Longinus the Centurion.
Truly, Volner has done everything he can to get information about that lance. I'd better keep this one, though.
Did he say?
Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What are you doing in my room?
Sir, perfect timing. I was looking for you.
You were looking for me? Well, here I am. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you might help me.
You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the holy lances.
What's the matter? You seem completely panicked at the idea I might be interested in this relic.
No, that's not true.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
You know Mortimer's got it, so you're not worried that I'd give it back to him.
What are
So
you?
why are you so terrified of me being able to find it?
You have no idea what it is you're looking for. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
Ah, I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me and Piaggi too.
What on earth is he talking about? But calm yourself, goddammit. You're the one I'm trying to help.
What? What?
I heard you talking with His Eminence, and it seemed to me that this story about the lances had put you in a tight spot. I was only trying to be helpful.
But why didn't you tell me straight away?
Seeing as I hadn't found it, I didn't want to commit myself too quickly. If I failed, I would look like a beginner.
I understand, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me. I got a little bit carried away. But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the Lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of gold.
That is the perversion of Christian idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later. I managed to get the biography of Longinus the Centurion. Let's see what it can teach me. An interesting passage here tells me that the lance is engraved with the symbol of the first Christians, the fish. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. His Holiness Pope Pius VI, by Pompeo Petoni. This should help Piaggio feel at home.
Destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem by Francesco Hayez. The Roman destruction by Titus and his army. What violence! Torquemada. Quite the contrast. Wow. The fanatical priest who created the Inquisition sends shivers down the spine. John the Baptist. Youth with a Ram by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the usual representations of St. John. Venus and Cupid with a Satyr by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that. Love Triumphant by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels is no mystery.
Amber crystals.
The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism. I wonder what Piaggi must think of this.
My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements. Please tell Sir Gregory that his enterprise concerning our friend, Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti, is my dear Giuseppe.
Satan summoning his legions. This is rather surprising for the decoration of a cardinal's room. Satan summoning his legions. This is rather surprising for the decoration of a cardinal's room.
Amber crystals. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Golden elixir. Saturn devouring his sun. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. The Conversion of St. Paul by Caravaggio. It's incredible.
Judith beheading Holofernes. Ironic in a way, when you know that the artist represented herself as Judith beheading her mentor, who had raped her.
The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance. The inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel,
Dear Monsieur de Richet,
dictated to him by voices.
please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at...
Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room? The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on but doesn't touch. fragment of amber.
I can see that this lance has the characteristic shape of a spear. It is made of iron, and its tip is engraved with a cross. This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. He was basically an anti-pope. His path to the throne was pretty turbulent, and he had to be enthroned several times. The result of a long conflict between the papacy and the Holy Empire. This one has no name. I wonder who it was for. This one has no name. I wonder who it was for. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I must be sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take?
I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him, immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
Did Lord Mortimer tell you you could trust me?
Yes, but...
So, I'm working for him right now, and you're wasting my time with your questions. Look, if he hasn't taken you into his confidence, then you shouldn't know yet.
I'll soon figure out what you are up to. And I am convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer. The game is up. Give me what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will call the servants.
Remind me, who did you hear making those alleged charges against me?
His Eminence Piaget and Monsieur von Volner were discussing them when I joined them.
And remind me, during the conference, which side were His Eminence and Mr. von Volner on?
Sir Gregory. But what has that got to do with it?
And did it not occur to you for a single instant that they might have been speaking about me in front of you on purpose? To manipulate you? I trust them to detect novices who are likely to be taken in, yes.
Those sons of whores. Ah! So that's how they see me.
Be careful to make sure the conference keeps on going ahead smoothly, though. Please. It would grieve me to have to report you to Lord Mortimer.
No, of course. I'll make sure those two bastards get what they've got coming. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur. Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the wharf now.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you. Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me. What's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons. She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
If I follow you, you must have witnessed some of the greatest moments in history.
You could certainly say that, yes.
You seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all. He was my father, though. Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming? Ugh, please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have the chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides. Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with Pythagoras, well, it moves me quite deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
Did you know ancient Egypt?
Oh, yes. We were gods on earth in those days.
What did men call you then?
Amenhotep IV.
The 10th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty?
Ooh, I see you're a connoisseur, Louis. Impressive.
Did you experience ancient Rome?
Oh, yes. Luxury and decadence, Louis. My family did indeed reign supreme, but from this period I retain only the works of my friend, Marcus Vitruvius Pollio.
I've noticed that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks. Apart from that, indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
And how is it you help men exactly?
Let's just say that without us, man would probably never have left his cave. Fire, the wheel, tools, writing. We are the spark that inspires man to search, to grow, to evolve.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
How would you qualify your species scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
Given the choice, I'd choose philosophy.
So, consider us as an idea, Louis. We are but a word in the minds of men. But this word is capable of anything. Empires have been built on words.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my true nature to her.
The old book was Al-Azif, wasn't it?
Did she speak about it?
Not so long ago, yes.
Indeed, it was already Al-Azif. She wanted to unlock the secrets.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
So, von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
It was you who killed her.
The child was already condemned, Louis. My father would never have let her be. I had to pass inside her mind and, yes, make her take her own life. trapped between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments? I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone. Would you?
So neither my mother nor Peru were ever guilty. You just gave me the runaround with that whole investigation.
Now don't take it the wrong way. I was obliged to keep up appearances so that Gregory wouldn't suspect me. And it enabled me to size you up, Louis. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
I've got an idea, but it might seem stupid.
Trust me.
Am I one? I mean, am I a demon?
Would you like that?
No, I don't think so. I'm just a man, and that's fine with me.
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Liar! Well, well. So now you're his bastard. You really took me for a fool. Don't make a move, you clowns!
Everybody keep calm.
Don't say a word or I'll shoot your kid! Not so clever now, are we? At last I found a way to put the pressure on you, Mortimer.
Look, just calm down, monsieur.
You stopped me from ending it all. Because of you, I've had to pay for it. You don't know what it's like. He's in your head. He's in your soul. I never want to feel that again.
Jack, I did not betray you.
You're just like him!
Jack, I've only just found out that I'm his son. You can't hold that against me.
You don't understand. You're already in his clutches. Everything was set up to bring you here and reveal the secret of your birth to you. Open your goddamn eyes! You've always been under his thumb! So, what are you gonna do now? You've just found out your true nature. What difference does it make?
Jack, I can assure you that what Lord Mortimer just told me makes no difference.
That's what you think. But you're already in his hands. And you don't even know it, Louis.
No, Jack, it's the contrary. Everything that's been happening here has been carefully planned by the Golden Order for months. And everything is going exactly as planned. Lower your weapon. It's all right. It's over. You'll make it through. And you're going to get your life back.
You're just like him. You are already. You can't see it, or you don't want to see it, but it's already too late. In fact, I haven't got any choice.
You always have a choice. You know very well what will happen to you if you shoot me.
And between you and me, I'm not as important as you think. If you shoot me, it won't change a thing for the other demons, now will it?
It'll be one less, and he wants you. For the first time I can stop what he wants. You should never have come here. You're just like him, and you all deserve to die.
Louis, you ought to learn not to walk into danger. Fear not, I've blocked him. He can't move. One more second and he would have shot you. You wanted to save him during the conference, so it's up to you to decide his fate. Does he still deserve your mercy? Or have you had enough? I'll let you choose.
But there's still good inside him. Free him. Let him think that he just came here for the conference and that he will serve you with devotion.
Fine. But are you acting out of compassion or vengeance?
Compassion.
There, it's done. Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
To tell you the truth, I don't get much time to ask myself those questions.
Quite right. Best not to react to all this too suddenly. Take some time to think about it all. For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there, inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But I'd be violating their minds, wouldn't I?
No, nothing of the sort. You won't really be penetrating their psyches. Let's just say you'll be picking up residual signals emitted by their thoughts. It isn't intrusive at all, rest assured. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying, and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy, and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later, if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
Let's see what Mortimer's thinking about.
He is thinking he might not have been clear enough with you. When I told you not to try to read into Gregory or our experienced demons, it also applied to me, of course.
You can hear me think?
Of course I can. I can sense you. For the moment, your mind shines like 1,000 lights because you haven't yet mastered the art of concealment from the psyches of others. So, I give you a weapon, and the first thing you do is try to shoot me with it? If my intentions were evil, you would already be at my mercy. So be very careful on whom you use the talent.
All right. Please excuse me.
And don't ever apologize, my son. You are far above that from now on. Now go. One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf. Oh no! No, Mother!
Louis, it was an accident, I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice. She attacked me. I didn't want to hurt her.
What happened?
I was on the wharf. It was dark. She seemed to be preparing to depart. I moved closer. I wanted us to talk, but as soon as she saw me, she threatened me. I wanted her to explain to me in her own words what had happened to Emma. I had to know what happened, Louis. You understand that, don't you? Is it really for him that you left me, Emily? That's pathetic. Look, he still doesn't get it, for crying out loud.
Emma? Oh, the bitch.
Is it really for him that you left me, Emily? That's pathetic. Look, he still doesn't get it, for crying out loud.
Emma? Oh, the bitch. Bitch.
What? Louis, what's wrong with you?
No, you are not Emily.
Ah, that. It took you long enough to figure it out, though. Oh, I felt sorry for you when I saw you couldn't even recognize her, Louis. What do you expect? It wasn't my fault. Yes, you spent a night with her, but she can't have made much of an impression on you. Oh, men.
Shut it.
Was it perhaps that night we spent together after the conference that persuaded you that I was worth more than her?
What?
Oh, you still don't get it. The night of the conference? It wasn't poor Emily who paid you a little visit in your room. Oh, she was much too busy with Monsieur Bonaparte.
No, that's not true.
It was me, of course. I assure you, you got something a whole lot better. And when I think she wasn't even armed when I arrived. Right. Take a moment to think and meet me at the manor later.
You're crazy.
Now, Louis, don't push it. I understand your grief, but I won't put up with that sort of talk from you or anybody.
Die, you bitch!
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute. Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Well, indeed, from that point of view, it is better to guide them.
It's rare for a novice demon to manage to stop thinking like a man so quickly. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you suggesting he might be in danger?
Well, Louis, our father's patience is not limitless. If William ever does go too far, then yes, he will be in danger. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now. His Holiness awaits my report.
Why is his study in such a mess? Looks like Volner's planning something.
Louis, busy as always, I see. How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Me? No, nothing at all. And you?
I would like to be able to say yes, but it's been dead quiet. The only one with anything to say is Duke Manuel. But with that accent of his, I don't understand a word he says. It's exasperating.
Right. I've wasted enough time. I'll keep our conversation to myself, Mr. President. Anyway, I must be going now.
See you later, Louis.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You have made the right choice. You must have been disappointed not to have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Well, I guess I'll never know now.
True. Even so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
What? But why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I've been given to understand that you have a difficult relationship with your father. Isn't that right?
Let's just say we don't see things the same way. I ended up finding out that there's a world outside the rules he has imposed on us.
It seems you find yourself in the same position that you've placed men. You were told what to do, what to think, and you found it unbearable. Imagine if humanity finds out you secretly direct them. How do you think they'd react?
Your analogy is not without substance. But that's where it ends. Man's main flaw is his willingness to forget and to make the same errors time and again. He can't help it. He is mortal. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as workforce.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence. But humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are? I understand your goal, but the change you propose is not really a significant one. It is merely more smoke and mirrors.
You must understand that we directly depend on men. Consequently, we have to do our utmost to help them progress and to prevent them from killing each other.
And you think that's been a success? Humanity? It's almost always at war. And it's been this way forever.
Look, I'm not saying that the task is easy. We've all had failures. And at times, we have even suffered from conflicts on our own side. I'm doing my best to improve the situation. Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play. As well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes, you're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first.
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate.
I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another holy grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts.
Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence.
I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence? Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. all are different. Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory had suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There. That should be enough to justify the change of vote. In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Must be in Latin. Justitia, misericordia, e humiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up my foreign languages. Piaggi once gave me a sealed letter. It had the same seal on it. I remember now. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793. 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 In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Today the date is 24/01/1793. 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 Today is the 24/01/1793.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi? The old goat is going to drop us. It's a lousy turncoat. Well, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Just calm down, calm down. Louis came to see me because he claimed he was hearing voices. We've just finished an exorcism session.
An exorcism? Are you having me on? I can't see any exorcism instruments.
That's because I've just put them away.
I don't know what you're up to, Piaggi, but I do know you're trying to pull one over on me.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is, and there he stays. It's a perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him.
No, listen, my son. This is all getting out of hand.
Hogwash! I don't trust him in the slightest.
Why not?
Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ach, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, How is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he?
Committing a crime in my room is out of the question. Think, it will all be on our heads. No doubt about it. I refuse to run the risk.
Right.
Monsieur von Von, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it.
You can't attack him without running the risk of jeopardizing the conference.
Even though Sir Gregory has the edge?
No, Gregory will never forgive you.
Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit, the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Not much else to say, other than I've already developed a taste for it.
Delighted to hear it. Bear in mind that you will discover many new things by going from body to body.
Is it possible to go from one body to another several times?
With practice, yes. Some of us have become masters in the art of bouncing from one body to another, to the extent that they can't be found. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
You came here to warn me, sir.
No, to advise you.
Advise me against my father. Why?
I think you are capable of deciding for...
You haven't answered my question. Why warn me against my father? What are you afraid he will do to me?
Well, I wouldn't want him to lead you into... I don't know what absurd adventure in which...
You act as though I were in danger.
I agree with Louis, Gregory. You're trying to pass me off as a villain about to devour him.
That's not funny, William. I won't let him follow you.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own. Forever. I am a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
Father, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to follow my instincts, I can't in good conscience follow you.
But
I hope you won't take it personally, but I prefer to support Sir Gregory.
very well. You have made your choice.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest. Well, my friends, here we all are.
Isn't the Duchess meant to be with us?
No, she's resting in her room. Don't worry. The conference can resume. Now, we all know that tensions have been running high, but now is not the moment to give in.
The main thing is that just one vote can suffice.
Yes, indeed. It will only take one of you opposing his project to win the conference. But I would rather have us united until the end. Meanwhile, let us remain on our guard against any last-minute surprises. I know my brother well. He never prepares for war if he has no chance of winning.
From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts.
You take care of getting the lands. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
She has to pay for all the harm she's done to me.
Meanwhile, let us remain on our guard against any last-minute surprises. I know my brother well. He never prepares for war if he has no chance of winning.
Finding out that I'm a demon makes no difference.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
Don't make me your competition, de Richet. You are no match.
Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
My friends, here we all are. We are about to definitively shelve Lord Mortimer's absurd project regarding Louisiana. It will only take one of you to oppose it, and we have won. The vote is to be held shortly, so we must keep our guard up. I'm sure Mortimer's preparing something.
Don't worry, Sir Gregory. Nothing can stop us now.
Beware, Johann. We mustn't underestimate him. So, I'll ask you to return to your rooms and stay there until the conference. And if one of Mortimer's team comes knocking at your door, no matter what, do not open it under any circumstance. Don't give them the opportunity to manipulate you. Is that clear?
Understood.
Good.
Count on me.
As you wish.
Right. Let us adjourn. Louis, stay a moment, if you would. I need to speak to you.
Yes. What can I do for you?
I've known my brother for a long time. I'm sure he has a plan. I'd like you to go and see each member of our group and make sure they remain loyal. One thing's for sure. I doubt William will give up without a fight. He'll try something. I'll keep him busy while you check on all of our group. Can I trust you?
Of course.
If there is a traitor in our group, find out who it is, Louis. Find them, then come back and let me know. I'll deal with them personally. I want a landslide victory. I want to teach William a lesson.
I'll go now.
Thank you, Louis. See you in a while.
Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim.
Monsieur Bonaparte. Ah, excuse me, I was expecting someone else.
Mr. Godoy, do you have a moment?
Your timing's awkward, Riche. I'm expecting someone. I haven't time. Please leave me.
Very well. I won't insist.
Looks like he only wants to speak to Bonaparte. I know what I have to do if I want to speak to him. Looks like Volner's opposition is in the line of fire. I don't like the sound of that. It's a beautiful weapon. Levi Damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Louis, do you want something?
Yes, for you to test the Duke's loyalty, since he'll only speak to you.
Well,
Whatever it is, I haven't the time. The conference will shortly begin, and I want to be focused. Sorry. Come back and see me afterwards.
I see I haven't much choice.
Seeing as Godoy will only talk to Bonaparte, and Bonaparte will talk to no one, I have no other choice but to borrow his body. Nothing personal here, Napoleon.
Look, I'm sorry. This conference is of utmost importance to me, and I should like to be prepared for it.
Concentrate, Louis.
You don't mind if I sit down, do you?
I don't want to fall flat on my face when my spirit passes inside you.
No, I don't think you've understood, Riche.
Link into his thoughts, Louis. Come on.
I said I did not want to be disturbed.
That's it. I sense something.
What word in leave me alone do you not understand?
Come on, just keep going and get inside his mind. Now.
Too bad for you. You can't say that I had a look. Thank you very much for the loan of this body, monsieur.
Right. Let's not waste any more time, Louis. Godoy is waiting.
Ah, there you are at last, Bonaparte.
My Lord Duke.
What a typically French attitude.
Come,
you
let's
are
not...
20 minutes late, without the least excuse. I am risking a lot, monsieur. You seem to forget.
Please, excuse me.
Well, what did you want to see me about?
So, let's see whose side he's really on.
I wanted to be sure. You are still going to vote for Mortimer, as planned, yes?
Mortimer? What the devil are you talking about, Bonaparte? I am on Holmes' side, and I intend to vote against Mortimer's project.
My Lord Duke, I never once dreamed of you playing on both sides of the fence, but I was given to understand that you and Lord Mortimer do have a few interests in common.
But I don't know what on earth you are talking about. Lord Mortimer and myself may agree on a number of subjects, but I am and shall always remain loyal to Sir Gregory. You see, there is no reason to think that I could ever side with Mortimer.
Oh, that's a pity. He was going to make you an offer.
What are you talking about? Make yourself clear. I do not understand you. This doesn't seem like the way Mortimer normally proceeds. I'll know if he's lying or not by what he has to offer.
Come on, my Lord Duke. We both know very well what we are talking about. I thank you for not wasting my time.
I never dreamed of it, monsieur. I have a fair idea as to your presence here, but for some reason, something doesn't seem quite right. I am somewhat lost, to tell the truth. And this just isn't like you. I wonder if it really is you, in fact.
What?
You're just fishing around because you're the one who's changed sides.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
You're working for Holm. Admit it.
No, I'm not. Don't be ridiculous.
He's asked you to flush out the traitors in his team, hasn't he?
Of course he hasn't.
Admit it.
Are you joking? Upon my honor, I urge you to believe that I am not the sort to play on both sides of the fence, monsieur.
Very well, very well. There is no point getting on your high horse. If you are really working for Mortimer, why did he task you to question me like this?
Lord Mortimer trusts you, my Lord Duke. But with all that's been going on, I admit he needs to feel supported. And as you're a man of great qualities, in his opinion, he simply wanted to make sure that you will still support him.
Ah, now I understand. Listen, I'll take your word for it, but tell Mortimer that he's making me run too great a risk. I already gave him my approval, and we agreed not to speak about it on the island. Just imagine for a minute if Holm had caught us. You might not know what he is capable of, but I certainly do. It would be the end of me.
The bastard. He really is a traitor.
Please excuse me, Duke Manuel, but that wasn't the intention. I shall go and reassure Lord Mortimer about the vote, and I promise to avoid you running any more risks.
I hope so. Now please, leave me. We must not be seen together.
It's time to get going.
Great. Honey.
My dear George.
Mr. President, would you have a minute to spare?
Of course, Louis. What can I do for you?
I wanted to make sure that you're still with us. Since Mortimer has to convince everyone to follow him to win the vote, well, I expect he'll try bringing you over to his side eventually.
I won't lie. William did make a point of speaking to me.
And?
He has always supported me, Louis. I've been thinking long and hard about this. I know I said I would vote for Holm, but I've been reconsidering. I'm sorry, but I won't be following you this time around.
Well, at least that's clear. Holmes the one who's going to be delighted about this reversal.
I'm sorry for you. Good luck and see you later at the conference.
See you later. Your Eminence?
Oh, Louis. What can I do for you?
Not too nervous about the conference?
Even if I add Lord Mortimer's reaction into the equation, I must admit, I don't know how we can lose. It will only take one of us to vote against his project, and the idea will be definitively dropped.
Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he still had a few tricks up his sleeve.
You are thinking about something?
Well, maybe he's managed to motivate some of Sir Gregory's supporters to vote for his project, for example.
No, you can't be serious. Do you know anyone capable of that, Louis?
Yes. Yes, I do indeed know someone.
Who then?
Double-dealing cheat. So you're the mole. Do you really want me to tell you, Your Eminence?
What do you mean? I'm not sure that I understand.
Confess. I think you know better than anyone who'd be capable of pretending to be on Sir Gregory's side while secretly planning to betray him.
What are you saying, Louis? I don't follow you. You are not really suggesting that...
Oh, I don't need to suggest anything. The situation seems clearer by the minute.
Louis, it's not what you think. I owe William everything. It's thanks to him that I took the holy orders.
Off come the masks, Your Eminence.
I beg you, try to understand. I owe him a favor.
Of course you do.
Louis, I haven't any choice. You don't say no to Mortimer. You know this very well. If you ignore him, you'll sooner or later pay the price.
I see. He just has to ask and you give in.
I beg you, don't say a word to Sir Gregory, or I'm done for. In the name of your mother, I implore you to keep it to yourself.
Your Eminence, you've only got yourself to thank for the situation you're in. Don't count on me to get you out of it. I'm not promising anything here.
But What?
Goodbye, Your Eminence. I'll see you at the conference. What a mess. Looks like Volnor was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw. And he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before.
Ah, Louis. Come closer. I'm warming myself up. I was unfortunate enough to step outside and now I'm freezing.
I wonder what he's been doing outside. Something to do with what Holm asked of him, maybe.
So, tell me, my friend, what can I do for you?
And this is the scumbag that tried to poison me. Sir Gregory has tasked me with making sure that all his allies don't change their minds over the conference. Are you still going to vote for Sir Gregory?
Did he ask you? I knew it. You need have no fear. I've always been loyal to him.
Very well. And what proof do you have?
Absolutely none. And I couldn't care less about convincing you. On that note, see you later. Huh? Perhaps.
What a scumbag. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Ah, Louis. I was getting impatient. So, tell me, have you been able to speak to everyone?
Absolutely.
And? Did you find a traitor in our midst? Any news of Piaggi?
You can count on him.
As always. And President Washington, can we count on him?
Unfortunately, President Washington has changed sides.
I must admit it comes as no surprise. My brother has always followed him, and I was expecting this reversal. What's your opinion of Duke Manuel?
Duke Manuel won't be supporting us.
How dare he! If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be where he is today.
I had to trick him in order to make sure. I passed inside Napoleon so that he would talk to me.
Congratulations, Louis. I see you're not one to stop at half measures.
I pretended that I was only checking he was still working for Mortimer.
And he confessed?
He was suspicious right to the end, but yes, he ended up giving himself away and conceded he was working for your brother.
That scoundrel! And von Wollner? What's your feeling about him?
He's thoroughly committed to your cause, without a shadow of a doubt.
I never doubted him, but best to be sure. Thank you, Louis, for all this information. I only hope what you say is right. The consequences could be horrific.
That is what we're likely to see.
William has moved his pieces. If that's how it is, it's my turn now.
What are you going to do?
Show him that I am not going to be outdone. Prepare yourself. It won't be long before the conference begins. There's just enough time to briefly go over it once more with my guests. Let us meet in the conference room when the time comes.
So, do we agree?
Agreed. Let's return to our places now.
You're right.
What were they talking about?
Louis, a moment of your time, please.
Yes, monsieur. What can I do for you?
I would like you to hear me out without interrupting. It's in your interest. You are in a perilous situation, and I want to avoid you becoming a laughingstock.
What exactly are you talking about?
The reason why we are all here. You might think you can win, but...
Indeed. It looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, think again. You don't know everything. In actual fact, all of Sir Gregory's team is working for Mortimer. If you vote for Holm, Mortimer will never forgive you. And I can assure you that he is taken down far tougher than you.
Are you threatening me?
Not me, Louis. But you are the only one who hasn't turned against Sir Gregory. Join us. Vote with us if you do not want to feel the wrath of Mortimer alone.
Is that all?
That's all, yes. I just wanted to warn you. Now you are free to vote where your conscience leads you. Good luck.
So, he's the one who's been persuading them all to turn back. I just gotta hope that Holmes managed to pull off his conjuring trick. Otherwise, Bonaparte's right. I'll be the only one voting against Mortimer, and therefore the only one to face the consequences.
My friends, here we are at last, gathered together to close this conference. I would first of all like to thank you all for making the time to be here and lend your services. Gregory, I believe I may speak for both of us when I say that we are honored by your presence here. You are perfectly right to do so, William. Thank you for putting your faith in us and for coming here to participate in this conference. Thank you for helping us to make the best decisions. And I especially want to thank you, William, for perfectly hosting us at your home during these past several days.
I'm not sure all the guests would agree to that. In any case, Holmes doesn't seem to be himself.
Duchess Hillsborough will also not be voting.
The poor woman has suffered a lot of upheaval lately. As she was feeling quite poorly, she apologizes, but she preferred to return to the continent.
The Duchess? I hope it's nothing serious.
Don't worry, Mr. President. I had someone escort her. The Duchess simply needs rest, and now she is in good hands.
I must say, Sir Gregory, you are beset by bad luck.
Indeed. One would think that I am hounded by ill fortune.
Good. I think we can begin. You will vote in turn on the question that interests us today. Are you for or against the transfer of ownership of Louisiana from Spain to France? Duke Manuel?
For.
Your Eminence?
For. But I...
Gregory, please. Monsieur Napoleon?
For.
Mr. von Volmer?
For.
What?
Gregory, please refrain from interrupting the voting. You know the rules, brother. President Washington?
For.
Monsieur Peru.
Yes.
Finally, Monsieur de Richet. What is your vote?
My turn.
I vote against.
The votes are now cast. So you were not won over by my project. That hurts.
I warned you. You didn't want to listen to me.
Never mind. It will still come to pass.
Traitor! What have you done? You are obliged to respect your word. That is the rule.
The time of conferences is over, dear brother. Let us abandon all this charade.
You don't have the right. What have you done to me?
What have I done? Nothing, Gregory. You did it yourself. A word of advice. In the future, that is, if you have one, don't drink someone else's cup of tea without checking what's in it.
Father, what happened? Sir Gregory, what's the matter? William, what have you done?
Not now.
You are mad, William. Father will punish you for this.
He will probably try, unless I get to him first.
But I cannot die.
No, you cannot die. You are, however, losing all sense of reason, as well as all your special abilities.
What did I drink?
Can't you guess? There are but few things that can have such an effect on such as we. You would know that if you ever ventured even a little way off of Father's beaten track.
Revenge!
Oh, no, my dear Gregory. You will not be taking any revenge. You will die stupidly, alone, enclosed in that rather withered body.
Help me!
After several centuries of near absolute power, here you find yourself on your hands and knees, hoping in vain that someone is going to help you. Tell me, what does that feel like? Never happened to me. Can't be good. You cannot leave your body, you cannot project yourself elsewhere, you cannot even contact Father. Go ahead, try. But you are my brother,
So, I ask you to remember that all this is your own fault. And I want you to understand I get absolutely no pleasure out of it. Well, very little.
Swine!
A new order is born today, brother. Enough of father's hegemony. After all these years of servitude, I can finally stand up and oppose it. You chose to serve him, whatever his excesses. Now it's up to you to face the consequences of that choice.
Matt, I am stronger than you!
What? But... What on earth is happening? Am I dreaming or...
Louis, it's me, Gregory. Listen, we don't have much time.
But where are we?
Louis, I brought us here. You must act swiftly. I can't hold out for long. William has poisoned me. He must have used the blood of a former demon. I am no longer able to enter the body of someone else. The poison is gnawing away at me from the inside. I'm going to die, Louis.
But where are we?
In the ether. What you see is not real. It's only a mental projection created by my spirit. I'm occupying William's spirit at the moment, but I'm not going to be able to keep it up forever. Join me, Louis. Otherwise, all will be lost.
Yes. Yes, I'll join you.
Find a way. Hurry!
I must find them quickly.
Beneath your compassion, we take refuge, O Mother of God.
I'm so lucky to serve Lord Mortimer.
Dear God, if I lose the war against France, I will be doomed.
I sense that something is happening.
History will remember me.
I deserve a
And
great
the
destiny,
sacrifices
and
I
I will let nothing, nor no one, stand in the way of my dream.
But there must be a way. Rational and open, Sarah.
Think, damn
Sarah?
it. Think.
Is that you?
Louis? Louis, can you hear me? I'm here, Louis. Can you see me?
Of course, but I don't understand.
Oh, merciful heaven. You can see me.
Yes,
Louis, I don't know what's happening, but you must help me.
Look, just calm down.
I can't see you, Louis.
I'm here right in front of you.
No, I can't see you. The caves are deserted. I can't leave, Louis. Help me.
You died.
Died? No! What are you talking about? Look, I am right here.
And as you are my sister, it's possible that demons don't completely disappear after their physical bodies die.
But how is that possible, damn it? I'm stuck here.
I don't know. I'm only guessing. Only your physical body is dead. Apparently your spirit is kept here.
I daren't try understand. Am I condemned?
Look, neither of us know anything about this situation, really.
Help me, Louis. You are the first one, the only one to see me, to speak to me. Without you, I'll never get out of here. Don't leave me like this, I beg you.
Listen, you have to stay positive. Seeing as I've entered the ether, I must be able to leave it. If it's possible for me, then it's possible for you.
Do you really think so?
Rational and open, remember?
Yes, right. You are right. There must be a solution. But how come you can move around?
I'm not dead.
I don't understand.
I think there are many things that you don't understand.
It doesn't matter. I trust you. You are going to help me, aren't you?
I must be getting on. I can't stay much longer.
Louis, I beseech you. Promise you're going to help me.
Of course I'm going to help you, Mother.
Thank you, Louis. I trust you. Thank you.
Help me! Is there anyone there? Is anyone there? I'm all alone.
Emma? What on earth?
We only wanted to play. We didn't mean any harm.
She sounds like a little girl talking. It's me, Louis.
Oh, I know someone called Louis, but he abandoned me too.
What on earth is wrong with her? It seems like her spirit has regressed. What are you doing here?
I was playing.
Oh, really? And what were you playing at?
We were playing hide and seek, but I think I got lost. I'm all on my own now.
And who were we playing with?
With my sister, but I can't find her.
Tell me, Emma, is Emily here too?
Emily is always here, but she makes fun of me. She keeps hiding in the shadows to make me scared, and I get scared then. I don't want to follow her in. I'm all on my own now.
Oh man, what can I do? Poor thing seems completely lost. Everything is fine. Emma, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. You'll see. I'm here now. Dry your tears.
You aren't going to abandon me?
No, don't worry. You're not alone.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me now, what happened with Emily?
We had a fight. She was always wanting me to hide, I think. But I don't want to play at hide and seek anymore.
Do you know why she always wanted to keep on playing?
The one who wins becomes the princess, and it's never me who wins. But I want to be a princess too.
Okay. And you like playing with your sister?
Of course, she's my sister.
And do you love your sister?
Yes, but sometimes she gets on my nerves.
But you wouldn't want her not to play with you anymore, would you?
Of course not.
It would be good if you could both play at being a princess together, at the same time, wouldn't it?
Together?
Yes, each with your own stories.
Oh, yes, that would be good. And we would have extraordinary adventures, and we could speak about them together, and I miss her so much.
Emma? Is that you?
It's all your fault. If you and your mother hadn't come here, all this would never have happened. You're all the same. You're the one, Louis. You're the one who assassinated me. You should be proud of yourself. You finished what your mother started.
Emma, don't be like...
Leave me alone. I don't need you.
Don't take it like...
Leave me. Leave me alone. Scum! Bastards! I'll get you back. You've all manipulated me. I'll make you all pay. All of you.
But there must be a way. Rational and open, Sarah. Think, damn it. Think. But there must be a way. Rational rational and open, Sarah. Think, damn it! Think!
Help! Help me!
What am I doing here now? Nothing seems real.
You're nothing but a coward.
What a bunch of amateurs you are. Please, keep calm.
What on earth is going on here? I don't understand a thing.
Louis, don't waste any time. Appease them. My thoughts are becoming confused. Help me. Be quick.
Yes, not a minute to lose. I need to keep an eye on them. Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side.
I won't let him attack his brother.
That's not really Elizabeth, it's another demon who wants to protect home from Mortimer. On a symbolic level, he should be placed between the two of them.
He wants to isolate me again.
That's not really Elizabeth, it's another demon who wants to protect home from Mortimer. On a symbolic level, he should be placed between the two of them.
Stay with me, Louis. We must take Alazif back from him.
One thing is for sure, my mother and Volnor have the same objective, to find that book. They're following the same trail and must be close to each other.
Stay with me, Louis. We must take Alazif back from him.
One thing is for sure, my mother and Volnor have the same objective, to find that book. They're following the same trail and must be close to each other.
He wants to isolate me again.
That's not really Elizabeth, it's another demon who wants to protect home from Mortimer. On a symbolic level, he should be placed between the two of them.
God damn it. I don't understand a thing. I'm doomed.
Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side.
God damn it. I don't understand a thing. I'm doomed.
Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side. I need to keep an eye on them. Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side.
I can count on my father and my son to defend me. Yes. But will they make it in time?
That's not really Elizabeth. It's another demon who wants to protect home from Mortimer. On a symbolic level, he should be placed between the two of them.
Stay with me, Louis. We must take Al-Azif back from him.
One thing is for sure. My mother and Volnor have the same objective. To find that book. They're following the same trail and must be close to each other.
God damn it. I don't understand a thing. I'm doomed.
Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side.
I can count on my father and my son to defend me. Yes. But will they make it in time?
That's not really Elizabeth. It's another demon who wants to protect home from Mortimer. On a symbolic level, he should be placed between the two of them.
I have to protect my sister. Help me, Louis.
Emma is completely lost. She needs to be close to her sister. As for Emily, well, she no longer trusts anyone. Apart from me, that is. I have to stay by her side.
Looks like I've succeeded. They've all disappeared.
Louis, it's worked. But don't waste any time.
Yes, I'm coming.
At least as soon as I found the exit.